Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu salam ala Sayyidina Rasulillah. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. First of all, it's my pleasure to be with you in this video today, dear students, after a long time of a compulsory vacation because of this outbreak of the virus. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless and protect all of us and the whole nation, and longing to see you back in no time. In fact, this video is directed or delivered to the students of grade 8A, that the classes 8A, 8B and 8C, in addition to grade 9B, only one class for level B in grade 9, which is 9B. So this lesson is for you all, gentlemen. Our lesson usually, we are going to start unit 13, and as usual, we introduce or deliver a picture. You can see this picture here, this picture, first one and the second one. It's written in Arabic and English. It's very, known to all of us. So it's about supermarkets. What do you know about supermarkets? I just want you to think about supermarkets. What do you know about supermarkets? That's for 20 seconds. Think of my question. What do you know about supermarkets? And the second question, what do you want to know about supermarkets before we go to the text and before you go deeper in the lesson? So what do you want to know about supermarkets? I want you to think about what do you know about supermarkets and what do you know or do you want to know about supermarkets. So as you see, unit 13 is about shops and services. So having to do with shops and services. So we all, all of us go shopping either weekly, monthly, daily, bi-weekly. It depends, on the reason of why we go shopping. So we need to go shopping. So we need to go shopping, and there indeed shops are supposed to be, dealt with in certain or with giving certain, services. So the objectives of our lesson today, we've got two things to do, two skills, reading and speaking. So the first part is we are going to discuss advantages and disadvantages of supermarkets. And the second one in reading, so we're going to read and identify, read and answer some questions, after we do the reading, either scanning or, skimming, or we practice silent reading. So as you can see, the first question here, what are the advantages and disadvantages of supermarkets? So please get out a piece of paper and write down the advantages of supermarkets based on your own knowledge, your prior knowledge to supermarkets. What are the good things about supermarkets? What are the advantages of supermarkets? So I want you to get a piece of paper and write down then at least 3 advantages. What are the good things about supermarkets? What are the advantages of supermarkets? Advantages means good things, the benefits of supermarkets. You've got 3 minutes for this. Then pause. After you do this, we are going to show here the advantages of supermarkets based on, so I Google, I usually tell you, to even, we've got our own sources, but I prefer searching, so I always, encourage you to go to Google and search for just to get more information rather than the one which is in the textbook or the course book. So here, the advantages, as you can see, the number of advantages, and I got some of them here. Saving a labor cost due to self-service system. So the number of workers, you don't need to have a number, you shouldn't have a number of workers. So that's because of self-service system. So you go and pick up your items from different aisles, from different sections in the supermarket. The second one, reasonable or low prices of goods. That's not all the time, by the way. So sometimes, supermarkets make or give offers, and give sales, on some certain, goods. Number 3, low cost of operation. You don't need to worry, it's easy. Under one-stop shopping, under one roof, you can do whatever. Freedom of selection. So they really put items in a way that entices, your eyes. You cannot control the way, freedom of selection, and you can go here and there. It's, the level of temptation is very high. So You've got the freedom to select. Shopping is very easy and quick. You go quick based on your shopping list. If you've got that, determination to follow just a shopping list, which is impossible. So you need to add extra things. Shopping is very easy and quick. Due to adequate parking space, there's parking space, Shopping becomes easy and pleasing activity rather than boredom, People, if we go to traditional markets or to traditional souks, so sometimes we feel, especially in summer when it is hot and humid, you feel better to go to to the supermarket and get your items. So the source, I got these, points from this link. And remember, gentlemen, the source, just to avoid plagiarism. We don't have to take, others' properties and intellectual properties and attribute to ourselves. This is not mine. I got it from that link. So write the link and say it and put it. So let's move to the disadvantages. So the disadvantages of supermarkets, as you can see, I want you also to get on the same piece of paper down, write on your own, based on your own knowledge, your own prior knowledge, prior experience, what are the disadvantages? What about the shortcomings, the bad things about, supermarkets? So write them down. You've got 30 or 1 minute for that. Go ahead. Yes. Get out the piece of paper and write down the disadvantages of supermarkets. If you write 3, that is acceptable. You can add more. So, disadvantages of supermarkets. We've already talked about, the advantages of supermarkets. So now, disadvantages of supermarkets. Okay, let's go. Because of time, let's go. Disadvantages of supermarkets. So here you see, supermarkets requires huge financial resources. And we agree. So sometimes because of the temptation, the level of temptation is very high, and the way that, the items are shown, usually you cannot control yourself. So you feel that you want to buy from here and there, from different aisles, from different sections. You cannot control it. So you need money. You need extra money. You need budget, huge budget. Financial having to do with money. It is finance, which is money. Okay, so the Ministry of Finance, that's financial resources. That's number 1. You need extra money. The lack of personnel, nobody cares. You just go and try, to see the sections, and then nobody cares. The lack of personal attention. Number 3, supermarket doesn't provide various services such as free home delivery. You cannot, call on their number and they will bring you items home. So there is no free delivery service. And also, it requires large and extensive premises. Buildings should be larger, spacious, in order to have, available or suitable parking slots, So you need to have huge, and that requires money. Also, goods which require explanation by salesmen cannot be sold in such markets. Sometimes you need, to explain to the customer or to the client about, certain goods, about, and that is not, it's not necessarily available all the time in supermarkets. And also, the same source, remember, we are against plagiarism. We are trying, to do our own. So now, we are going to page 106, the psychology of shopping. We'll talk about supermarkets, advantages, disadvantages of supermarkets, how we used to, do shoppings in the past, about traditional markets. If we take Bab Makkah as an example, it's a traditional market where you find a number of, shops, small shops with selling different items. So supermarkets break the idea of traditional markets, even though I like, go shopping in traditional markets. I don't know, maybe because of my generation. So you see, the psychology of shopping, as you can see, the word psychology. What psychology? Look at the first letter, which is pa, is not pronounced. The psychology of shopping. The psychology of shopping. What is psychology? What does psychology mean? Remember, P is written, but it is not pronounced. The psychology of What does psychology mean? Psychology, this Cambridge, the science of mind or of mental states and processes, the study of mind, the study of human personality, the study of human behavior, the study of human and animal behavior, having to do with human personality, having to do with human behavior, or having to do with human mind, the sum or characteristics of the mental states and processes of a person or class of persons, or of the mental states and process involved in a field of activity. And there, if you enter, for example, the university, there's a college called the Faculty of Arts. In this, you find there's a humanities, and the humanities you find a branch of psychology, which is studying the human personality. So here you see, these are the possible, definitions of psychology, and I insist, or I did, focus on the pronunciation of the word. As you can see, pa is not pronounced, it is psychology. So the source, as you can see, is from Cambridge, dictionary.com, browse, then you get psychology, that's the source. So I just want you now, gentlemen, to go, what do supermarkets have in common? What do they have in common? So, generally, shopping experience that much better. You see, these are the regular deals, buying in bulk saves money, variety, you see, samples, variety of samples, helpful staff, wide aisles, that's corridors you can go, a good flow, plenty of healthy options. This, do you think supermarkets have their own way to make people buy? The answer to this question is possible when you read the text, which is on page 106, then we can answer. I just want you to go to 106 now. There is a text. Please read the text. The text is on the psychology of shopping, as you can see. This is 106. Please open 106, read the text. After you read the text, I want you to answer the questions. The question, which is, do you think that supermarkets have their own way to make us buy? Can they play on our minds? Can they convince, can they persuade us to buy because of the psychology, playing on our psychological status? So I want you to answer. Read the text, please. Read the text. The text is here. The psychology of shopping. Psychology of shopping. What do supermarkets have in common? So that answer is very important. Read the text. I want you to find out. They say we have ways of making you buy. That means they study the human personality. And they know how to to control or how to convince. So in our next class, we're going to do the second task, which is vocabulary list. And this is, in fact, all about our lesson today. And that's all for today. I'm very happy to be with you. Inshallah, next time we will proceed with the vocabulary and grammar. Thank you so much. You find the homework in the electronic gateway. So stay safe, take care, pay attention, and try not to forget, to obey your parents. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Assalamu alaikum.